Am I the asshole? For not letting a service dog into my party. I hosted a pumpkin carving party for my friends and I this past weekend, and a decision I made is causing drama amongst us. The party was indoors as it's still nearly 100 during the day where I'm at. I dislike cats and dogs, any and all. My friends know this. Primarily, I think they are filthy. I want nothing to do with them because of that. A buddy and his current fling, early relationship girlfriend, however you want to define it, showed up. She has a golden retriever with her. I did not know this dog was coming. No one ran this by me, I would have said no. I pulled him aside and told him the dog had to go. He says if the dog has to go, she has to go, and then I have to go too. I just say, come on man, you should know better than to bring a dog to my house. He said that it's a service animal, apparently for diabetes. He thought it would be different. I said no, it might medically help her, but it's still a fucking animal. He starts arguing but maintain my stance. I offered to keep it in the garage with the AC on. He goes and talks to his girl and she looks annoyed. I felt bad about that. They opt to leave. He lets me know I'm an asshole. My friends were all split on how I handled it. Am I the asshole? Info: did you speak with your friend after? What did you two tell each other before and after they left? I get the feeling something is missing. Situation: 50-50. Writing style and tone: probably an asshole. A. Nobody comes out of this looking good. Your buddy should have given you a heads up beforehand. Your anti-animal stance is so extreme that you chased away a friend. You don't have to love dogs or anything, but maybe you should step back and figure out why your animal hostility level is so high that even a medical service animal sitting there and minding its own business is somehow a crisis. I guess ESH. ESH, your friend should have said something knowing your feelings towards animals. Totally agree with that. But your whole post screams I am a disrespectful a-hole calling his girlfriend his current fling? Don't get me started in how you talk about cats and dogs. Personally, I think I would have enjoyed the presence of the golden retriever more than yours. I'm a strong not the asshole only because to me it seems like the friend didn't tell OP about his girlfriend's dog on purpose. I can't imagine being friends with OP and not knowing this big quirk they have. It was him who put his girlfriend in that awkward situation by trying to use peer pressure to get OP to let the dog into her home. If the girlfriend also knew about OP's thing with animals, then she shouldn't have been shocked to not be allowed in. If she didn't know, then her boyfriend is entirely at fault. I have a SD and I never go to anyone's private home without checking. I have had one for 4 years now. My aunt doesn't like dogs. She doesn't host at her home if I'm coming home for the holidays. It's always my dad or my other aunt. She doesn't want a dog in her home and I'm not mad at it. She understands he needed and my dad can't sit by me 24/7 at a family event. So my dad hosts when I come to town. It's your private home, you don't have to allow it. They should have told you, so they wouldn't have to feel rejected. Not the asshole. I'm all for service animals being allowed places, but when you are going to a private event, especially at a private home, it's not okay to just assume an animal is welcome. What if you had a guest that was severely allergic? Let alone the fact that you are 100 allowed to just never want pets in your home. Them not asking ahead of time was an A move. You didn't make a scene, you offered a compromise and pulled him aside. Not the asshole. Reddit is split for a reason. People want to defend disabilities, but this is your home and you don't need to let animals inside if you don't want to. The fact that your friend brought over his GF that you don't know, and brought a service animal just assuming you'd be fine with it, was an A move on his part. I feel sorry for both you and the GF in this situation, because your friend should have talked to you first, but instead created an uncomfortable situation for everybody. While dogs being in your home is absolutely your choice, it seems your hostile attitude is my biggest issue. The way you define your buddy's girlfriend in your post screams that you had an issue with her from the get-go, especially apparently for diabetes, before the dog ever arrived. Also, opinions about animals is valid, but your aggression seems excessive. As a service dog owner, I would definitely ask but understand why someone with a diabetes task-trained dog wouldn't think about someone's dislikes of dogs versus their safety. So as someone who is allergic to dogs and would suffer from allergies while the dog was in my house and after 2 from dander they shed, I wouldn't be okay if someone brought an animal to my house without me knowing about it beforehand. If it was an ESA, I'd pat you on the back, but a trained service dog for a medical condition? You're the asshole in a major way. Just my opinion. AITA doesn't apply in your residence, but a trained service animal is one of the most well-behaved animals you could possibly hope to have on your property. Plus she needs it to make sure she doesn't die. I hate dogs a lot. Like a lot, I fully relate to you, Op. I'd be pissed and have done the same. It's my residence and I hate the animal. I get that it's a service dog and that might make me feel a bit bad, but no dogs means no dogs. If someone says no weed on their property, I don't give a shit that you have a doctor's note. No weed means no weed. I think a lot of these people are blinded by their love of dogs. You're the asshole for the way you handled it. I can only imagine the words you used given your wording here. I get both sides of the situation, but the way this guy narrated his story makes him the R. You're the asshole. I have type 1 diabetes, and anyone who has a service dog for it really needs it. Not the asshole. Diabetes, seizures, anxiety, etc. Regardless of the reason, he should have asked first. It's your house. This would have all been avoided if he would have just asked before coming with his +1 and furry helper. His lack of planning caused the awkwardness. Sincerely. Dog lover. You're a whole ass red flag, bro. Not the asshole. If someone showed up to my home with a service dog that was not discussed beforehand, I would let them know my home is animal free, and, while I understand that she may need the dog for her health, it wasn't allowed in my home. I've had golden retrievers in the past. I loved them, but they shed. I no longer love dogs like I once did, and someone else's dog's hair on my things is a no for me. Your tone may have been harsh, but showing up with an animal to your home without talking to you, and expecting you to accommodate them is an asshole move. You're the asshole. First of all, that is his girlfriend. Not a fling. You talk about her so disrespectfully. Secondly, that's not her pet. That animal is her medical equipment. The dog is the equivalent of her carrying her insulin bag with her. While you are within your legal rights to enforce the rules and decorum of your party, you are still an R. Yes, they should have ran it by you about the dog. That's their only wrongdoing. Info: did you specifically invite the girlfriend, or say that your buddy could bring a one? I feel like if you didn't, that makes your buddy much more of an asshole in this scenario. My overall judgment is still ESH because of how you addressed it though. Not the asshole. They just showed up and expected to treat your home like it was a public space. Nervy. And very assholeian of them. Your friend should have asked instead of just springing it on Ness like he was trying to shame you into allowing the dog and was really shocked when his attempt backfired. You're the asshole. A lot of people seem to be under the impression that this dog is just a pet that she can optionally choose to have with her or not, but I do not think that is the case. If she needs a dog to alert when her blood sugar reaches dangerous levels, then her diabetes must be pretty serious. She needs him to be right next to her in order to be safe. You basically excluded her because of her medical condition. How would a diabetic alert dog know his handler needed insulin from your garage? You don't get it. Your friend should have asked in advance, then you would have said no and I'd still think you were TA. You're the asshole. Yes, he should have told you in advance, but you handled it horribly. Unless you're allergic, you're discriminating against the owner for having a disability. Real service dogs are extremely well behaved and you'd barely notice they're even there. You're the asshole. You think animals are dirty? That's all I need to know about your character.